Get ready with me to see my ex-husband. Scrubbed off my tan this morning, and because none of my foundation was light enough, I tried out the MCO Beauty Light BB Cream, but I still think it's a little bit dark. Hopefully we can lighten it all up with concealer. My ex-husband and I separated in early 2022, and the reason that we're catching up today is because in late 2021, we bought a house which is now getting sold. Actually not feeling very excited about the house being sold, even though I haven't lived there for over 3 years. When we separated, my ex decided to stay in the house and I went off and found a rental. There was such a sense of comfort knowing that he was still getting to live in that house because it's still my first house I'd ever bought. And in this economy, I don't know if there's gonna be a second house I ever bought. I did get paid out of the house very early days, so I'm not actually benefiting from this house selling. However, I am feeling really sad that this house is now going to be somebody else's and that it's been sold in general. Probably not as sad as my ex feels, but I still feel sad. I only got to live in this house for 6 months and it was hands down, like easily the best house I've ever lived in my life. Obviously, the end of 2021, we were still deep in a pandemic, but we were trying to buy a house during that time. And we ended up buying this massive, gorgeous, newly renovated 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom property, but we never got to see it before we actually settled. And because of the pandemic, the house was too far away for us to travel to. So we were only allowed by the government to see the property at one time, like 2 days before settlement, so we could go and measure things. What a crazy time to be alive. But I actually chose not to go to that inspection because I am a massive stress head. I did not want to back out of the house before settlement. Waited until it was too late, it was all ours, and I honestly loved the house. It was easily the best house I've ever lived in. It was so sad that I only got to live there for 6 months. But as sad as all of this is, I am actually really excited to get it done. We are already divorced. This is the last thing kind of keeping us together. I'm also very limited in what I can do in regards to getting a new house or, a car loan. I can't do any of that because the bank still sees me with a massive house debt. And this should be pretty straightforward. We've got a pretty good relationship with all things considered. Honestly, our divorce and selling of the house and everything we've had to do post breakup has been so easy. I think it'll be good for both of us to just get on to the next chapter of our lives. Not that either of us will probably ever own a home again, but you know what I mean.